What's up? What's going on? We back in it. Another home lab. Today we're gonna be doing like another home lab type-ish video. A little different. It's a bit different. I was really nervous getting into this video. I was really nervous into this whole project, actually. I don't know why. I think AI just like freaks me out in general. So doing this project was like kind of scary. I was also really nervous about absolutely frying my PC, straight up deep frying my GPU. But no, it's really easy. It was actually really simple. It probably took me like an hour to do this, so it's fine. It's cool. What is it that I'm talking about? You might be asking. I'm done with ChatGPT and I'm done with Claude. I'm done. I have privacy concerns. Where are you storing my data? You know, I also don't like subscriptions in general. $20 a month. Get out of it. Also, hate this AI boom that's going on right now. The push on data centers and the push on companies using AI. Boo. That sucks. Look, I think AI itself is great. It's a revolutionary tool. But the way that we're using it just sucks, bro. And I don't want nothing to do with that. So here I am running my own self-hosted AI. What does that mean exactly? Basically, you could download AI models online. Meta has made some. OpenAI has made some. There's a few different companies that make AI models that you could just download straight onto your computer. It's crazy. You don't need a data center. You don't need a full server. You just need a computer. It can run on a laptop. It's crazy. So today I'm literally just installing a AI model and running it on my computer. We're using Ollama to install and run the actual AI. I set up a Docker container to use OpenWeb UI, which is just a interface. It's a way to talk to your AI. It's honestly a better way to talk to your AI because you could allow your AI to access the internet and it could save your conversations with it and whatnot. I will say this whole thing is fully dependent on your hardware though. You can use like a laptop, but your AI isn't gonna run the best. So there is like a factor of the better equipment you have, the better the AI you could run. So keep that in mind. And it also doesn't matter about how much RAM. In terms of like DDR5, that shit don't mean nothing to AI, bro. We need VRAM, we need GPU, we need that damn 5070 RTX super duper ultra NVIDIA. I mean, your regular RAM does help, like DDR5 does support it in some sense, but the main thing is VRAM. Like your GPU's RAM is really what AI lives. In my setup today, I got a 3060 Ti. It's not a new GPU by any means. It's not the oldest, like it's not the worst GPU. It's a pretty good GPU. It does the job. I have 8 gigs of VRAM on there. So yeah, so like where do we start? How do we get into this? I must mention I literally went through step by step everything Network Chuck told me to do. Shout out Chuck. He literally walked me through everything. If you're planning on using this video right here to set it up, you can. Like, I'm gonna mildly explain it to you, but you might have to figure out some parts. Watch Network Chuck's video. He does a better. I'm on a Windows machine. Ew, I know. But I installed WSL to get this thing going on. That's a Windows subsystem for Linux. Fire, it's like using a little mini Linux machine on your Windows. Once you're on your Linux terminal, you want to update, upgrade everything you need to. I thought I knew what I was doing. Yeah, I've done this a few times at this point, and I off rip ran into an issue. Don't forget to use sudo. I forgot to use sudo, so my bad. There you go. Nope. Do your updates, do your upgrades, you know, yada yada yada, and then you're gonna install Ollama. You can use LM Studio. It's another alternative. I just thought Ollama was the easiest. Network Chuck put me on once again. Ollama's easy though. Like it really was simple. You could download your models from there. You could use the models from there if you wanted to. Whatever you want to do. Anyways, I installed Ollama. You do need to make sure you have ZSTD installed. I ran into the issue that Ollama wasn't running because I didn't have ZSTD. All right, Ollama. ZSTD? What is that? Really simple fix. Just install ZSTD. Install Ollama. Make sure it's running. You do a local host. Ollama runs on 11. Was it 11.4.54? 11434. Ollama is running.
But Ollama's API service is
running.
Go.
11.4.34. I'm lying. My bad. Anyways, that's 80% of the work right there. Just getting Ollama installed. Exciting stuff. I know. I was pretty excited doing it. There's a few things you got to know before choosing which model you're going to try to run. The concept of parameters and quantization. Two big ones, two ginormous ones. Parameters means how much knowledge that AI was fed while training. It just means how much information they stored in this AI. But the bigger the parameter, the bigger the model, the more it's gonna have to use from your GPU. You have to make sure you can run it. It's not really like an option. It's more of like, what can your GPU run? I did give Claude the specs to my machine and just said, hey, like, which models can this type of machine run? I found that with 8 gigs of VRAM, I could run usually 5 billion or 7 billion parameters AI model. 5B, 7B. Especially 5B, this GPU crushes. It has no issues running 5B. It's quick, it's fast, it loads well. And then you got to go into the concept of quantization. I like to think of quantization as like a picture, all right? You have the full picture, but you're kind of shrinking the picture. And while you shrink it, the details just like slightly get more fuzzy. The edges get a little bit more rounder, you know? It's still the same picture, it just isn't as accurate as it was when the picture was bigger. You know what I'm saying? You could think of quantization like that. It's basically them shrinking the AI model. So now you could get like a 10 billion parameter AI model, shrink it a little bit, but now those 10 billion parameters are just slightly more fuzzy. But the bigger the quantization, the more fuzzy it gets. Quantization kind of goes in a scale of 16. 16 being it's not quantized. That's the full model. Basically all the way down to 2. You don't really see anything that's a 1. I don't even think 1 exists really. I think it's 2. I've seen Q2 AI models, meaning that thing got quantized a lot. I found that like a Q5, Q6 is like a really good spot to be in. I think you can do a Q4. I think once you're like below Q4 though, you're doing Q3, it's rough. Q4 you get like a okay. Q5 I think is good. I think that's really where you want to be for quantization. I would rather have a smaller parameter, less quantized model than a bigger parameter, more quantized model. Just because it has like 7 billion more parameters, all of those parameters being so fuzzy, you just get like weird conversations out of them. I would rather have 7 billion parameters that is like mostly accurate than like 12 billion and it's like really fuzzy and kind of weird. For my machine specifically, I ran it a little bit hard. 7B was perfect. Q5 works well. But you know what's better than 7B? 9B. My GPU can run 9B well. I think if I was using the AI thing like a lot, maybe it's not the best. But it's a noticeable jump in the way this thing talks to you between 7B and 9B. I'm currently using a Qwen 3.5 9B Q5 solid model. This thing talks well. Doing the 7B was fine as well, but the 9B, it is like a noticeable jump, you know. I've been cool running 9B. It just takes like longer for my AI to think of the response, but it definitely is a better response. After choosing which model fits well for your machine and your hardware and your needs and whatnot, you could literally just run it up on your terminal. Wow. Oh my god. It just spins it up and you could talk to it right then and there. Freaky, man. This shit is crazy. But yeah, it's cool to see. It's running straight off of my desktop, you know? But there is limitations using it on the terminal. It doesn't have any access to internet. It doesn't remember your chat histories. I haven't even brought up the whole world of context. Context within AI is a big thing, man. Before we talk about context, let's talk about how we could actually use this AI the same way that we would use something like a ChatGPT, right? This is where Open Web UI comes in, man. Open Web AI is just an interface to talk to your AI through. It gives your AI accessibility to the internet. It gives it chat history. You could adjust context from there. You could adjust all these different functionalities, right? If you have a strong enough of an AI, you could even talk to it like the same, you know, like the voice thing is, what's up, ChatGPT? And it'll talk to you back. It's crazy. You could give it images and it could interpret the images and whatnot. All Open Web AI it's just a interface. It's just a way to talk to your AI, but it gives your AI a lot of advantages. You know, it's a better way to talk to your AI. There are alternatives to Open Web UI. There's Libra Chat. I don't know the differences. There's probably benefits from using either or. I just thought Open Web AI was the easiest one. Very similar to like a ChatGPT looking interface. For you to get Open Web UI, you're gonna have to have Docker installed. Once you have Docker installed and all the certificates and whatnot, I'll show you the command I use to create the container to run Open Web UI. I honestly didn't do so much research on it. I just found a command online. But it was really easy, and once it started, it just ran and I was good. Wow. And then you could use your localhost IP at port 8080. You could open up Open Web UI. You could create your administrator account. It'll let you choose which AI you're talking to if you have more than one AI installed in your machine. But if you just have one AI installed in your machine, that's going to be the only one that's there. And then you could talk to it the same way you would talk to ChatGPT. But now you're talking to the AI ran from your machine and not ChatGPT. Now going back to what I said before, context is a big thing. It's only big if you need it though. Context is like memory. It's memory for your AI to remember what you guys are talking about. So if I asked AI one thing and then it responded, and then I said another thing and then it responded, and then I said another thing, but let's say in this new thing that I said, I'm referring back to the first message, at this point, it might have forgotten my first message unless you give it a lot of context. Context lets your AI kind of remember the full conversation. It's good if you need it. It's good if you're going to have like a conversation, but it's up to if you could even run it. It's another hardware type of thing. If you don't have the hardware that can run a lot of context, you're just not going to be able to do it. Because I'm running a bigger AI, the 9B, I have a pretty low context, which works for me. I'm usually just asking it one question, and whatever the response is, that's it. That's my whole conversation with it. But yeah, it's really up to what you need. If you're really sitting here trying to have a conversation with it, you might want to run a smaller AI model so you could have a bigger context, and then you could have full conversations with it. I was more focused on the quality of the response. If I just get a really good one response, I'm fine with no context. It also kind of forces you to be mindful about the prompts that you're giving it. If you're giving it one full, complete prompt where you're asking questions, and you're including references and including everything you need to ask, it's going to respond to that whole prompt. And then if that's all you need to ask, then you're good. Instead of going from one prompt to another prompt to another prompt, it forces you to kind of stay on to, like how do you question all this into one big prompt, which is also a better way to use AI, because now you're not sitting here just wastefully using a bunch of prompts and tokens and whatnot. Anyways, that's about it. It's really simple. It's an install Ollama, pick a model and run it. It was really easy. The cooler part is to use Open Web UI, because now you have like an interface to actually talk to your AI. It really is cool to think that I'm running it myself. I took a step away from Claude. I took a step away from ChatGPT. I'm all good without that. If you want to take it a step further, you could use Tailscale. Having this private mesh of different devices on Tailscale, you could include the machine that's running your AI and the Open Web UI. So then my laptop could connect to the AI that's on this machine through my Tailscale, and then I use it on the Open Web UI, so it's exactly like ChatGPT. It's cool. But yeah, that's basically it. That's the whole project right there. I don't know how long this video is really going to be. I've been recording for half an hour now. It really isn't a big project, and you could do this yourself. It's really, really simple. I think this is a better way to use AI. You could give me your opinions. I want to know kind of what you guys are feeling about it. Some people are AI mega fans, and they absolutely love everything around it. And some people absolutely hate it. So it's like a pretty controversial thing. I think it's an amazing tool. I hate the way that's being treated. I think we're using it incorrectly. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Let me know your opinions and how you felt about this video. All right, man. Cowabunga, and peace out.